think Mexico City treatment plants are?
The biggest problematic in Mexico City is that the few plants that exist for water treatment are only for residual waters, but there are no plants that treat the industrial waters and water that currently have so bad.
The water supply in Monterrey has been indispensable since 1878, and it has contributed to the industrial and city's development of the city. Since 2010, the water treatment plant's capacity in the city has incremented from 7,000 to 13,500 liters per second, meaning that in the next 20 years, they will be able to distribute potable water in more than 25,000 hectares. Nowadays, in Monterrey, there are three main water plants. The Dulces Nombres that maintains 7,500 liters per second, the Norte that maintains 3,500 liters per second, and the Noreste that maintains 205,000 liters per second. All these plants have been able to maintain the 36% of the city's residue water cleanup to 100%. As of 2014, the total systems of Agua y Drenaje de Monterrey counts with 50 water treatment plants in play.
In Mexico City is that there is a high population density, and because of this, the pollution is increasing.
There was a massive oil spill in Monterrey. The oil spill occurred in the Mexican state of Nuevo León, where approximately 4,000 barrels of crude oil spilled in the San River Juan. It is now estimated that over 15,000 tons of oil have been poured into the river. This pollution unfortunately may reach El Cuchillo Dam, which provides water for the people of Monterrey. And this is a bad thing because it will contaminate all the water in the rivers.
Similarities between Monterrey and Mexico City. Both of the cities count with at least one water treatment plant that cleans up to 90% of the residual water from the industries. The northeastern plant in Monterrey and the city water plant in Mexico City. Both of the water aqueducts connect some of the Monterrey water gets to Mexico. The water treatment in Monterrey and in Mexico consists of filtration and primary sedimentation. Each year, thanks to technological advances, more water treatment plants are being created in both cities to reach their main goal, that is cleaning 100% the water residues of the cities. In both cities, 90% of the water residue comes from the domestic and industrial sectors.
Cities' populations are growing. Both of the governments are trying to do things in order to improve the water quality and quantity.
Here, our water plants are less efficient, so the water is more polluted than in Monterrey, and also because we have a bigger population.
Differences 1. Mexico City water is more contaminated since it has a bigger population, while Monterrey's water is one of the cleanest of the states. 2. The Central Water Quality Laboratory in Mexico City is the one who certificates officially that the water is clean and has been through all the processes in the right way, and they inform the set. 3. Mexico City faces many challenges towards its water supply, which include groundwater overexploitation, land subside, risks of flooding, and the rise of urbanization, poor water quality, inefficient water use, and more, and endanger the city's water supplies.
Monterrey's groundwater is accounted for 46 dead wells, from 700 to 1 million meters, 3 water tunnels, one in Cola de Caballo and 2 in San Francisco, and 2 major springs. Mexico groundwater accounts for 64% of the volume of public water supply, 33% of all water used for agriculture and livestock, and 24% of the water is utilized by self-supplied industry. That are 653 groundwater aquifers in Mexico.
In this project, I learned how to work as a team since the students from Mexico City and Monterrey had to get in contact. I got to know people that I didn't know from my own campus, and I've been able to discover and compare the problems of Mexico City's water treatments to Monterrey's water treatments, and get to know that even though we're far away, as a country, we have so much to develop as the water treatment plants go.
In this project, I learned that we need to cooperate and to communicate a lot since it was a project that needed both cooperation from the people in Mexico City and the people here in Monterrey. And I also learned that water treatment is very important for both cities and that we both have to work very hard to achieve 100% elimination of the water residue.
Mexico City has better water plants than Monterrey. El Caracol will treat 2,000 liters per second, which will be used to irrigate 6,000 hectares of crop in the municipalities of Texcoco and Atenco in the Mexico City region, and for the environment rehabilitation for more than 2,000 hectares of a former lake at Texcoco.
In conclusion, I can deduct that there's a difference in Mexico City's water as well as in Monterrey, but also various similarities. For example, the differences in the water treatment or qualities, while one's use sieving, other uses filtration, or for example the similarities is that Mexico City and Monterrey share water supplies. They both send water to each other, so it's basically you're drinking our water and we're drinking your water. There's also several factors that we can improve in Monterrey for it to be better, and as well as in Mexico City. Right now, I also learned that Monterrey has one of the biggest and cleanest energy supplies in the country, and that Mexico needs more improving, and that they are working on it with, I believe, one more plant located in Mexico City. Thank you.
In this project, I learned a lot about teamwork. I knew that we needed both sides to working as a team so we can make the project. I learned about the similarities between Mexico and Monterrey. There are a lot of differences and also similarities, such as that Monterrey uses the same water as Mexico and Mexico uses the same water as Monterrey. So also a difference between Mexico and Monterrey is that Mexico City is a water that's contaminated since it's a bigger pollution, while Monterrey is one of the cleanest of the state.
I was to realize what issues we have here in Mexico City with water treatment and all of that, that we don't treat the industrial waters. The high population density will cause that our water pollutes a lot, and it allows us to compare our situation with the situation of another big city in the country like it's Monterrey.
What I learned after doing this project is that there are many similarities and differences between the water from Monterrey and Mexico, that there are many factors to take into account that alter water treatment and water pollution. And I also thought there wasn't being much done in water treatment, but I was wrong because the government is making a lot of projects in order to save and preserve water.
Well, finally, I think that with this inter-campus challenge, what we learned was to really work like in a teamwork using the social medias and communicating with each other. Also, we could see that the water treatment is not always the same, and it's different, and the quality varies depending on the region or depending on the government and the things that they do to preserve water in a clean way. Also, I think it was a great experience meeting new people from Monterrey, and having this experience will help us in the future to create new projects, even if we're not like in the same physical place, so we can make it better.
Showing a lot of interest in the cleaning and treatment of water, but I think that this importance is not as much as the problem needs, because I think that what we're not taking in consideration is that the water is a non-renewable resource and that it could end one day if we do not take care of it correctly.
It helps us to realize what the problems in some of the biggest cities in Mexico are, like Monterrey and Mexico City, and to help us do something to prevent this problem to continue. I would like to have an experience to do a work with people and students from other places that isn't the same campus than ours, and this will help us a lot in our future.